everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Justina and here I like to make, create, and inspire fun art things with you through my DIYs. As you see by the title, today I have 7 neutral spring home decor DIYs for you that were absolutely super easy to do and really fun to make. These DIYs are a blast from the past, so if you are new here, these are past DIYs that I just put together to make a nice longer video for you, but I still think these DIYs will work perfectly for 2023. So if you would like to see what I create, just keep on watching and let's art today. For our first 2 DIYs of the day, I have 2 8x10 canvases that I want to make into some spring artwork. So at first I took some masking tape and started taping off areas on the canvas that I want to paint in. Next, I'm taking various types of acrylic paints and starting to paint the shapes that I make with the masking tape. I make sure to do very light coats because I want each layer to see the previous layer underneath it. I will continue putting down the masking tape in different places and make different shapes. Now, for this year, I was going for a very neutral spring decor, so I did a lot of tans, some mustard yellows, grays, and black and whites for each one of these canvases, and I really loved how it turned out. If you want to see the original videos, I'll make sure to leave it in the description box below and also in a card for you here. I made sure each section was dry before moving the masking tape and moving on to the next section. Now with acrylic paints, they typically dry fairly quickly, so this didn't take long at all. You can always speed up the process by using a hair dryer if needed. After I had my basic shapes in, I wanted to add a little bit more detail by taking a green Posca paint pen and started making an outline for a stem. I wanted this to be like a mixed media artwork, so I then took a bunch of leaves from a greenery that I purchased from Michael's and started hot gluing them down onto the canvas onto my stem that I just drew in. Once that was done, I did take some black acrylic paint and painted the outer edges of my canvas. Next, as you see here, I have a black Posca paint marker and I'm just making some shapes all around my canvas. This really makes it look more modern and gives it some more details on my canvas. After I was done with my first canvas, I did set that to the side so it can dry completely, and then I started working on my second canvas, which is the second DIY of the day. Now I wanted these canvases to be a pair, so they are going to look somewhat similar but different with all of the different shapes that I use and where the placement of the shapes are. I also use different greenery with this canvas as well, but they work perfectly together. This is a great DIY for something mindless to do during the springtime. Like I mentioned before, I am adding a green stem using my Posca paint markers, and then I will hot glue some greenery. This is the greenery that I bought from Dollar Tree a while back, and I'm just using hot glue to attach it to my canvases, and this completes these first 2 DIYs. This is how both of my canvases paintings turned out. I absolutely love it. Now at the time I did place them on my patio for a little artwork out there, but I had moved since then, so they are just hanging around my house right now. For DIY number 3, I want to make over this shadow box using some of Dollar Tree's wooden ornament decorations. Now, I'm pretty sure that they still have them each year I have found these little bunnies this year, but I haven't really seen the eggs. Maybe my Dollar Tree just ran out. I will also use this over the rainbow scrapbooking paper that I purchased from Michael's years ago now. It was only $5. I really enjoyed this scrapbooking paper at the time, so I did rip it off. This is going to be the background of my shadow box. So I am going to place my shadow box on top of the paper and trace it out to the correct size. Once I was done, I did cut it out to the correct size, and now I will glue it into place using my Gorilla Stick glue. Once that was attached down, I then started working on my little wooden bunnies. I am painting them using my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color sheepskin. Now I have 9 little bunnies, and 8 of them will be painted in that sheepskin color, and the 9th bunny will be painted in my Java brown paint color, as you see here. After they had time to dry, it was now time to line them up inside of my shadow box. Now I was just trying to find the best placement and the best pattern to put them in, and I really liked this one. All that was left to do was add hot glue to the back of the bunny and attach it down to my shadow box, and that completes this DIY. I absolutely loved how this DIY turned out. Not only is it perfect for spring, but you can also add it for your Easter decor as well. Now, I have seen some of these shadow boxes run for $15 at big box stores, but I only made it for a couple using Dollar Tree products. Moving on to our 4th and 5th DIY of the day. For the 4th one, I'm using Dollar Tree's wooden egg cutout. I really like these wooden pieces because there are so many DIYs that you can do with them. For this egg, to make it more neutral and modern, I'm taking some masking tape and making a diagonal line with it and placing it down firmly on top of the wood. Next, I'm taking some wood filler and filling in that little hole at the top. Once that had time to dry, I am using my Rust-Oleum wood stain in the color Dark Walnut, and I'm just staining the bottom part of the egg that I taped off. After I put a layer of stain, I do take a rag and remove the excess because I still wanted to see some of that wood grain showing through. If you want the same results but do not have a stain, a good hack to do is just taking any type of paint you have and watering it down. You still want to do the same method by using a sponge brush and dabbing it on and removing the excess with a rag. After I was done, I did remove the tape. Now, some of my stain did bleed through, but I don't worry about it because I will cover it using my Folk Art Home Decor chalk paint in the color Vintage Mustard. Now, I did add that same tape right back onto the stain line so that I can paint over the top area of my egg. After I gave it about 1 coat of paint, I waited for it to dry just a little and then I removed the tape. This will give you a nice crisp line. I wanted to add a word to my little egg, and Dollar Tree always has these packages of 3 galvanized words for each holiday, and I just took the word spring out of one of those packages. Now I am painting my word using my chalk paint, but you can always take these words outside and spray paint them. They should be much faster that way. However, I wanted just to hand paint mine. Next, I'm taking a Posca paint marker and just outlining the word spring so it just pops out a little bit more. Next, I'm just hot gluing it right down to that little diagonal line that we have created. I wanted to give my little egg a little bit more of decor, so I took Dollar Tree's floral at the time that they have. I'm not sure if they still have some of these. I really wish they would bring them back, at least to my Dollar Tree, because I love the little balls on the floral. And I'm adding it to each side of the word spring. After I was done gluing them and have it to my liking, that completes this DIY. I really enjoyed how this egg turned out. Now, if you want to add a little string to the back so that you can hang it up, you can totally do that. I just have mine freestanding in my home decor, but like I mentioned before, I absolutely love the wood grain coming through that stain. For the fifth DIY, we are pretty much doing the same thing to this little bunny that we did to the egg. I am going to stain half of this bunny and then paint the other half using a different color. Once again, I'm going in with some masking tape, pressing down firmly so that the stain tries not to bleed through. I am staining the top half of my bunny this time, once again dabbing on a little bit and then removing the excess with a rag. I will then take my home decor folk art chalk paint in the color lilac and paint the bottom half of my bunny. I really love this purple, especially for spring. Once my bunny had time to completely dry, I just made a little bow tie using some jute twine from Dollar Tree. I added a little bit of hot glue to the center of it and then added my bow. I just loved how this bunny turned out. He is so modern yet so neutral that you can put him with your home decor and make a statement piece with it. I just absolutely loved how it turned out. Moving on to our sixth DIY of the day, I want to make over this little home sign that I purchased from Dollar Tree. Now, I previously used the back of the sign for a different DIY, and now I'm going to use the front of the sign. Now, this sign comes in 3 pieces, believe it or not, and they're easily removed. They just have these little brad nails in them, so you just have to keep pulling on each little corner, but make sure you do it softly so you don't break anything. I did need to use my little spatula to help me get the rest of it off, but after I got it pretty much loose, it popped right off. I did break a little bit of it, but no worries because we are going to glue it down. Once that was done, I then took the back of the sign and placed it on top of the home sign. This will act as my new frame for this sign. To attach each piece together, I'm just using my hot glue gun and hot glue stick. I will then put the frame right back onto the home sign, and as you see here, this becomes like a little framed photo with a shadow box look. Next, I'm going in with my folk art home decor chalk paint, and I'm just going to paint the whole sign in this nice sheepskin color. Once that had time to completely dry, it was now time to work on the home word of this sign. I am placing some hot glue right on top of the word home, and then I'm going to place some green moss right on top of it and press down firmly until it adheres down to the sign. I do continue adding hot glue onto little sections of the word home and then adding more floral moss right on top of it. To make this go by quicker, I just moved down to the next section, adding more hot glue and then more of that moss. After I had little sections, I then took a pair of scissors and started cutting off the excess moss from the word home. Now, I wanted this to be as closely down to the letters as possible because I just wanted this to look like the moss was spelling out the word home. I do continue doing this method until the whole word was covered and everything was cut down to my liking, and that completes this DIY. This is how my home sign turned out, and I absolutely love it. It was really simple to do and only took minutes to make. And the best part about this DIY is not only can you have it around springtime, you can have it in your home all year around because it's very neutral and it goes pretty much with anything. Moving right into our 7th DIY, I am going to make over this candle holder from Dollar Tree. Now it does say candle holder, but I have used this using it as a wax warmer and it does work out. All you have to do is place the little tea light in that little hole and then put your wax melt on top, and it does melt down and fragrance a little area. It is not as powerful as an electric one, however it does do a decent job. Now I wanted to make over this candle holder, making it seem like it's been in the forest for a very long time and a bunch of plants have grown all over it, and it is now like this little fairy area that little fairies can climb onto. I'm adding some green moss that I purchased from Dollar Tree all over the candle holder. I first started on the top and now I'm adding more to the sides of the little candle holder using just hot glue to attach everything down. Next, I will add more floral leaves that I purchased from Michael's and Dollar Tree all over the candle holder as well. You will then see me add little succulents and branches from my little floral collection all over this little candle holder. Now, if you are new here and you haven't yet subscribed, I hope you do that today. All you have to do is click on that big red subscribe button down below and then click on the bell notification so that YouTube can always notify you when I upload a new video. Plus, I would love for you to be part of my virtual art family. If you are already subscribed and you are enjoying today's video, don't forget to hit that big thumbs up button. It really does help out my channel. And since you are down there, if you can leave a little yellow heart in my comment sections, I would love to see all the little hearts down there. I do read each and every one of your comments, so it really means a lot to me. After I was done placing my succulents, that completes this DIY. Here's how my little candle holder turned out. Now, I really love this because not only can you use it during the springtime, you can also use it throughout the whole year. This is really cute. If you have a really hard time keeping plants alive, you can make a couple of these and have them around your house. Plus, this would be really cool to add to a little fairy garden if you are into that as well. Once again, here is a quick overview of all the DIYs that were in today's video. I really had a blast revisiting all of these DIYs. Now remember, if you want to see the original videos, don't forget to check out my description box below. All of the links will be in there and also in the little cards below as well. Thank you all for joining me today. If you can remember to leave me a little yellow heart in the comments below. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. And if you are new here, I hope you stick around by clicking that big red subscribe button below. It is totally free. Plus, I would love for you to be part of my virtual art family. Thank you all so much for watching. And as always, I will see you in the next one.